Every time I'm painting, I'm traveling. I feel I am at that place, and I don't follow. I'm not trying to paint the place as I see it, but I want to paint it as I feel it.
Yeah.
When I was there, the energy, the movement, and for me, it's very important that we feel that. I don't like to go to places that are empty.
Right.
Like at least cities and I like to see the movement and how people perceive that place and how they interact with it. Mm-hmm. That's a big part of my work.
Every fruit on the tree started out with a seed. So dare to believe the impossible is possible. And so your deepest dream, grow your truest dream, bloom your freest dream with me.
Welcome to the Artist Bridge to Abundance podcast, where we have real conversations with working artists about their creative journey and what it truly takes to build a sustainable and meaningful life through art. I'm your host, Michele Renee Stone. Today I'm sitting down with Patricia Kluwe Derderian, whose work bridges structure and expression in a way that feels both intentional and deeply intuitive. With a background in architecture, Patricia brings unique perspective to her painting, where composition, movement, and space come together in dynamic and emotionally resonant ways. Her work has expanded beyond the local landscape and is now being shown internationally, reflecting both the depth of her practice and the universality of her visual language. I'm looking forward to this conversation. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. Mm-hmm. You started your art career as an architect back in Brazil, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What called you into painting, and how did that transition unfold for you? Translate in composition, structure, or the way that you see space visually?
A lot, I think. I always wanted, it was my dream thing to be an artist, but I never dared to really think about it as a possibility.
Yeah.
So I chose architecture because it was the closest kind of normal kind of career to follow that was artistic. And I loved it. I connected with it a lot. And in architecture, I learned a lot to see things differently. I think I will never forget the first book that they gave us to read. It was like Tracing Porto Alegre. Porto Alegre is the city where I was living in Brazil. And it was about learning to see the city in a different way. Yeah. Learning to walk around, and they were talking about the surprises, and I realized I always loved to travel, mm-hmm. and that excitement of turning a corner and not knowing what's happening there. I've always been there, but when I started architecture, it kind of connected with me very deeply. Like the way that I saw things was already like that. I was always super curious, and I wanted to walk one sidewalk, and then I wanted to do the same thing but the other way, so I could see things in a different perspective and how it would look if I was coming from here, from there.
Yeah.
So I think I used that a lot. The way I see things changed in architecture, and also the feeling of being in places. I found it magical that we can change the way we feel because of the way, or if that wall is like 20 inches more there or here, or how that window is letting the sun come in, it's gonna change how I feel and how I perceive a space. How I walk through a space is gonna change my feelings, and that got me super excited, and that is something that I missed, that I did not want to lose from architect. I started missing that when I left college and I started to work real life and do what the market was there. Yeah. I was missing a lot of that creative part, and then when I had the opportunity to come here to the US, I took it as like, okay, that's my door. I have this chance to try to do what I always wanted, and I think when I started painting, all of that translated in my painting, mm-hmm. naturally, because I wanted that creativity, I wanted that feeling, I wanted to translate what I was feeling when I was in a place, and it kind of went through that. I don't know if I answered your question or if it's crazy.
You absolutely did, and what I'm thinking about is, every time I see one of your pieces, that it's magical, and it takes me to that place. I mean, like right now, we're in your home. There's a painting behind us that is 60 by 20 of St. Pete. And you look at it and you can totally tell, for those of you who are listening, you are transported into this magical space. And as I'm walking around like your house, and even every time I see one of your paintings out in a gallery, it takes me to that place. But like, and you have 4 pieces of Moulin Rouge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And each one is a different perspective of Moulin Rouge. And so you can, like, if you've been there, you can stand in front of your painting and literally picture that place there with the lighting, with, you know, like all the different elements happening. And so I love the way that you convey that on canvas.
Thank you. I love doing that. I don't know. I every time I'm painting, I'm traveling. I feel I am at that place, and I don't follow. I'm not trying to paint the place as I see it, but I want to paint it as I feel it.
Yeah.
When I was there, the energy, the movement, and for me, it's very important that we feel that. I don't have a very good. I don't like to go to places that are empty.
Right.
You know, like at least cities and I like to see the movement and how people perceive that place and how they interact with it. Mm-hmm. That's a big part of my work.
Yeah, and you can totally tell, like every time you see one of the pieces. So your work feels both expressive and intentional. How would you describe your visual language? Like I know that you talked about how you want it to feel, but how did you get there from the architecture to translating it on a canvas?
It was also, I think, a very natural path. In architecture, we have a lot of drawing classes, and that was my best part. I loved it. And also, when we learn how to have translator ideas, okay, I'm drawing a building. First thing you have to put is a little drawing of a person, or to give the sense of size. And so I started doing my people, and very fast they had their own little way of doing it. And my friends would play and ask me like, "Oh, I want one of your, I love your people," and like playing with that. So like the people kind of began from architecture, because it was magical for me to know that like I was always trying to get it like more and more simple. It was like, I just need a little dot and a little wiggle, and that magically transformed into a person, and that little square became a building, and I was like, whoa, I love it. So that's my thing. And so that's how the people started. The drawing also, same thing. I always loved to draw, and I wanted to draw, but I wanted to draw bigger, so I started experimenting with markers and paint and ink and all kinds of things, and then I found it in the markers a way that I could draw. Like I like the line, very bold lines, bigger, but at the same time have the liberty of getting crazier with the paint and whatever I wanted. So I think it's kind of flowing, and I have this, and I still have two different main styles that I follow, the ones that I call the city styles, that have the lines more defined.
Yeah.
I play with that a lot, but I also have my travel styles that has the same kind of shapes, but I use charcoal instead, and that gives me more freedom, and so it's a little bit more dreamy. I use my dreams and my memories as inspiration a lot too, and when this is the case, then the charcoal gives me more freedom, because the images in my mind are even more
vibrant.
Yes, not that stiff lines, they are more abstract.
Yes, and they flow more.
So I use the travel style when I need something that it's more flowy and more dreamy, and I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And I keep thinking about, off camera, we were talking about when you were in school and having to draw things out, that you drew out these little thumbnail sketches. And there's a word that you use.
Croquis.
The croquis, and how that you would take those images, that thumbnail sketch, that initial idea, and then just kind of blow it up on the canvas. And for me, when I've done thumbnail sketches, it always seems so much more different than when I initially drew out than when I created it on canvas. But for you, it feels almost like it's a translation from one space to another.
I learned to do, all my ideas were very small.
Yeah.
So I did my thumbnails very small because it's easier to put everything there, to play with perspective faster, because like the ideas come fast, and I don't want to lose time in correcting the perspective for that. So I do very fast, very fast. I started loving my croquis because they were like raw.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about, and I didn't like the finishing. So every time I wanted to do big, I started to try to make it, and I was like, I don't like that. I like the free, the thing that came without thinking.
Right.
So in the beginning, I did that. So I just, when I wanted to show my project, I just took my thumbnails and I blew it and I printed it to show. And now today, I wanted to find a way, and finally, it's a process.
Yes.
I learned to like just do it big, and it feels so much better to be free big. And I've been, since the beginning of my career, I'm like, I want to be bigger and I want to go bigger, because like for me, bigger is like freedom.
Right.
You're getting more confident with your work, and you're able to express your feelings, and the ones that are big, they're kind of, I don't know, they flow easier.
Right. Yeah. Well, and from your perspective, when you create your pieces, like our ideas, the ones that are inside of us as artists, they're not meant to be small, right? They're meant to be big. And so I think you said it off camera again about how when you have an idea, that's, if you're going to put it on canvas, it doesn't need to be on a little like 8 by 10. It needs to be on a, on a 60 by 48 or on a 48 by 48, like a larger piece, so that people can really experience it.
Yeah, it deserves to be bigger, to exist like with her full force. Otherwise, it's a missed opportunity to see her develop. And when you're small, you don't have a lot of space to develop that idea.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And
Me too.
I'm going to kind of jump a little bit around, because I know that the time that we're recording this is in April, and it's going to come out in August. Your work, so you and I met one another in 2018, right? And you had just moved over from Brazil, and you were just like stepping into this part of your career. And since then, your career has just totally taken off. Like you have artwork in France and Brazil and like all over the place. And on top of that, you're sending artwork there. And so your work is international. So how have you gotten from the point of starting till now, and where is your artwork currently?
I think it started, I always say like in little steps, step by step.
Yeah.
Just doing what I wanted to do, painting, and then submitting my work to art centers like Harewood, Matthew, and other local art centers. After that, I started to apply to the art calls of the area. Then I started receiving the emails. It kind of grows naturally, and applying to more things. And every time you're accepted, you kind of grow your confidence also to apply to the next one. A little bit bigger. And also the luck and like knowing the right wonderful people that helps. The community here is something that I am so thankful for. Since the beginning, I've met so many wonderful artists and people that help and connect, and I have goosebumps telling this because it's a very strong part of it. And like meeting you, meeting Brenda McMahon, meeting Richard Logan, I have like I will never stop. The list is huge. And from every artist that is there, like seeing you beginning and giving a little tip here, a little tip there, saying, yes, you can do it, go ahead. That's also helped a lot. And I forgot what was it like.
Well, just talking about like, so little by little, you've grown from taking a chance once you came from Brazil to now. You've got work in France, and you've got work and I think you're going to have a piece in Switzerland sometime soon, right?
Yes. I think because of that, all step by step, then I started having bigger shows here. I started doing art shows here, being prepared for that. And every art show is a whole, like you're there, you're suffering, you're hot, and you don't have the right things. the next one you get better.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go further. I wanna apply to other things. My husband is from France. His parents live in France, and so I have that support. So I know it's easier for me to find. So I was like, okay, I wanna find a place to apply in France. So maybe his mother Chantal is an artist, is contemporary artist. So she knows. In the beginning, she knew like, okay, she was doing some art shows. Like, okay, this art show, maybe you can apply. So I started applying for them, and it started like that. So I applied for a show, and I got accepted. I went there, exhibited with her, and then one thing leads to the other. Then people there started to know me, and then they invite me to other things. So it's the same thing as here, but like growing slowly to other countries too. Same thing. Obviously, I have the help that I have a part of family. There's a little bit of support in the country.
Right.
Also helps to start, and after that, it kind of goes naturally. And you know a collector here, and your collector recommends you to another person, and things go from there.
Well, and also having your architecture background, you can paint things in France.
Yes.
Or, you know, of France. You have where you can paint things. I think one of the first shows that we did together, you had a series. You had France, you had Moulin Rouge, you had
Amsterdam. Yes.
There was like 6 of them, right? 5 or 6 of
I
them.
have some local scenes too. I started with that, with inspiration from travels.
Right.
Yeah.
And then people recognize that, and so then they kind of there's an affinity, and then having the courage to so Michael's mom, his family lives in France, right? And so then reaching out to them, and then reaching out to people that you don't know, right? And it's it all kind of step by step, going back to that step by step, takes that courage to step outside of your comfort zone again and again and again, and you never know who's going to say yes.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's something that I love about the way the art works here, is that you can always apply. You don't have to know someone to apply to something. So
Right.
you start small and you grow slowly, but you don't have to, I have to show my face if you're shy. I'm super shy.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to show your face. You just send a picture. It's a very calm, it's a good way to start. And also the support of the family is amazing. Like Chantal helped me a lot, and she's always pushing me. My husband is always pushing me. You can go when I'm like doubting myself, or when like, you can go bigger. I was like, can I really? Yeah, you can. So that helps a lot too.
It's so beautiful to have a support system the way that you do. Yeah. And even with the artwork that you do, I know that you have certain paints and different things that you go. So it's like building that bridge with different organizations. The artwork that you have, we were talking about the markers and different things that you use in addition to creating all of this. And so like developing relationships with organizations that, where you can go and you can get your art supplies and things too, right?
Yes, that helps a lot, like knowing that we're here and we have leaks that we can go and get whatever I need last minute. I don't have something, I can get my car and go get it. That helps a lot. I was like, please be there, never leave, because we need those. And I have the things that I use, like I'm completely obsessed with the golden materials. That's all the things that I use. And we kind of, the Molotov markers, they have like, you try so many things, but then when you find the ones that you really love and that work with the way that you do your things, because everybody is different and they have different processes, but the one that works with your process, then that helps a lot. It's so good to have the good quality materials. That helps a lot.
Absolutely. I'll never forget the time it was probably 15 years ago, where I was doing a mural and I decided to go with golden for the first time, and the colors and the full body that they have as far as like the paint and just like the vibrancy of the pigment is something that I've always enjoyed and loved. So yeah.
You cannot go back to after a start.
You can't. You absolutely cannot.
No, I'm gonna have to put more money there, but it's worth it, every cent of it.
Every cent of it, absolutely. So if you think about like where you started when we first met and like where you are now, like how has your work changed over time?
I think I grew a lot in confidence in what I want to do. Because in the beginning, I think that everybody is like that. You're like, I'm doing this, but like, do people like it? Do people don't like it? Maybe I should do more of this, more of that. And I think in these years, what changed is I'm thinking less about like, okay, what do people want me to do, and I do what I want to do.
Right.
Because I will find people that love what I do.
Right.
And that's the whole switch that takes a little bit to form, but then once it forms, it gives you like a calm, like, okay, maybe it's not gonna be 80% of the people. It's not. It's gonna be much less. But what matters is that those people that really connect with your work, they're gonna find you.
Right.
And that's where the beauty is. And like I told you earlier, I'm super shy, and like art shows very hard for me. Still are. Mm-hmm. But for now, I like to go. I go there like because I know I'm gonna talk to people.
Right.
And I don't normally. I'm super stressed about it. But now when people come inside my booth, it's because they connected with my work.
Right.
And if they connected with my work, they connected with a part of me already. So the conversation is already. It's not like two strangers. For some way, like you're already. It flows and it's natural. It's wonderful and it's beautiful, and I make friends, and I go to the same shows, and I find the same people, and I'm excited to go back there to see them again. So I think that's what changed.
So the level of confidence and just putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think in talking to you now, it seems like looking from an outsider in, it looks like you've been fearless. But I think your support network is because you are, like you have your work in the Don Cesar, right? Mm-hmm. And so that is a very large, reputable hotel in the area. And a lot of people can be intimidated by that. But like you have a working relationship with them where your work is there. They ask you for prints and for cards and for different things. And it seems like it's been effortless from the outside to look at where you've put your work and how intentional you've been with it.
Yes, never easy. In the beginning, everything you have to learn, and in the beginning I'm always nervous, and I'm always putting myself in situations where I'm not comfortable, and I do it, and I want to do it, and people are like, do you want to do that, or do you do this? No, I don't, but I can, like I want to do it. And I go and I'm super stressed and I'm sweating and I'm nervous and I've never done it, but I want to put myself in that situation because that's the only way that you grow.
Right.
And so it's the same thing with the murals. Like I wanted to do murals, but because I cannot draw in anything that is not a paper.
Right.
I wasn't like that. I was like super like strict and like I can't. I bought a little bag and I wanted to paint in. I couldn't because I was. What if I am a mess? So I was like, I have this blockage and I wanted. End it.
Yes.
It's not normal. I wanna draw on the walls because I can't, but I will. So and then I just put myself there, ask for the universe, whatever, like you know what I mean. And then things start to kind of go along, and I'm super scared. I just finished a mural in the Fort Lauderdale, and it was the first one that I used a scissor lift. I was super scared. I don't know how am I gonna do this. The same thing. I knew so many people there. I have there's Lori Pratico there and Robin, and you kind of, and people that are there that are willing to help and kind of break that beginning, that fear. And once you do it once, you're less afraid, and then you go to the next one, and then you're afraid again, but a little bit less.
Yeah, no,
I think that was the trend.
Well, it was perfect because actually I was hoping that you would talk about the mural and that process, and so and through this whole evolution, you've turned your paintings into a business. So you have prints that you sell, you're out at the festivals and the different markets, and you've got cards, and so you're very strategically thinking about how these paintings could be much larger than they are. Just not, when I say just, I mean like having one particular piece, but how it can live again and again and again in different areas, in different ways.
Yes, find ways to express in different ways. If I want people to see it in a wall and a mural, and all of this is like, it's a stretch, or like I'm still learning. I'm like, okay, I'm just starting with the cards, I'm just starting with this, and then you have to find the sweet spot and try out, and it takes a while and for everything. But it's important, I think, to have different ways of showing your work, of revenue, of stream, or like of everything.
Well, it's part of that like passive
lose
income.
myself.
It's as you're going and growing along, you're figuring out ways to like. As an artist, we do need to have several different revenue streams. We do need to have passive income, and you've been very intentional about creating that and utilizing the different locations where your artwork is, so that you can create that kind of sustainability for yourself.
Yes, and in deciding, I'm always deciding, okay, when and how am I going to use it? That's a big part of, don't do too much too, like I don't want to go too much, because that's a lot of work, and a lot of people don't realize that, okay, I'm working artist, I sit here and I paint. Like painting is like a very small part of like the whole business of all the time that we have to spend doing all the other things.
Right.
And if we get too crazy in the beginning, you're not going to paint, and that's the point of it, right? So I think that's why the slow, the step by step is like the best. Like, okay, I got this, I'm going to try this, and then you just try this, and that's what I've been doing. And okay, this is working. Can go a little bit bigger in that. Nothing's crazy. I'm not going to go there and get crazy, throw all of it in the same basket, and just a little bit, little by little.
Little by little, absolutely. Knowing what you know now, what would you say to your younger self, the person who decided to go to architecture school and then decided to go that route and work in that place where they worked, where you ultimately said, I no longer want to do this, I need to like fill my soul and create this artwork? What would you say to her when she first started off, or as she was getting ready to make that decision to go to school and be an architect?
Wow. I think I would say trust the process.
Okay. Yes.
And do everything that you're supposed and you want to do the best that you can. When you decide to do something, focus on that. Imagine yourself already doing it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that has helped a lot for me. Just imagine yourself already doing it and start the steps towards it. A little step. Because the big steps are going to come if you're doing the little one. Yeah, everything's going to be good. Just keep going. Keep walking.
Yeah, just step by step, little by little.
Step by step. Don't give up. See yourself doing it. It takes a while. Everything takes a long time. But if you are achieving the little steps, that gives you the sense you're going towards that goal.
Right.
The big one's going to come. But you have to keep the small ones going. And the small ones are going to eventually, they're little seeds. Keep planting the seeds.
Perfect. It's I have a friend who says little things are big things because the little things build into the big things, right? What does abundance as an artist mean to you? And how have you created that in your life and work?
For me, it's that feeling that I have when I have a canvas here, a big one.
Yeah.
And I just do whatever I feel like.
Yeah.
And that image comes, that feeling comes, and I'm free of thinking about what the others will think, what it's supposed to look like, and I'm completely free. For me, that's freedom, the complete sense of freedom that I haven't felt in any other way in my life. And I think that was the thing that was bothering me, as working as an architect. I love architecture, but you are not 100% free, and I was desperate for that. And for me, that's the abundance when I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like I'm in my place. Nothing else matters. I'm in my bubble and I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing in exactly this time. I think that's for me.
Yeah, that's incredible. And so you have some shows and different things coming up in the future. And so do you want to talk a little bit about those?
So if we're going to be talking we're going to be in August. The next thing that's going to happen is I'm super excited to be at a residency at the Art Ovation Hotel in Sarasota from September 1st to September 8th.
Okay.
And I'm super excited to be there. And I think that's the big thing. And then after all the art shows are going to start, and I still don't have all my schedule for August, September.
Right.
But it's going to be in my website for sure.
Perfect.
And I'm going to be pretty busy, thankfully, if everything goes as I hope. And that's it, I think. their show season for me starts in November.
And typically, which shows are you in?
I do Hyde Park, November, Art Harvest in Dunedin. Then I stop in December because it's family and I travel to visit family. Then January start with Dunedin, down on Dunedin, love this show. Sarasota, St. Herman Circle, something that I love to do.
Yeah.
Naples, always try to go to Naples, love it there. And we'll see next year. Things are gonna come.
Yay! Is there anything else you would like to share with the listeners?
I think I just wanted to also thank, because it's hard to thank everybody, but like you mentioned, like the Dom Cesar. I am at the Dom Cesar because of Creative Pinellas and Cindy Stovall, and I want to say a big thank you for them, because that was a big, the grant that I had from Creative Pinellas changed my life. Brenda McMahon, no words. So many people, and the whole community, really. I was super welcome here since the beginning, and I want to do the same every time I meet an artist that is trying. I try to do what I can also for everybody to feel welcome and receive the same thing that I received, and to help each other. I love that. People sometimes are like, oh, you're competitors. I never felt that there is any kind of like the artist calling, at least what I've saw, nothing like competitors. Never felt like this. I think we're a big, strong community and we grow together. If one is stronger, the other one is stronger, you know. We celebrate our victories together. Yeah, thank you.
For those of you who are listening, I'm crying over here.
I am the one not normally crying.
I agree. This community has been life-changing in every way. And one of the things that I always did that I like to do as a curator is at the end of the art receptions, I have people raise their hands and look around and meet an artist that they haven't ever met before, and like talk to them about their artwork and their conversation and what their process is, because we are stronger together. And it's wonderful. And so thank you ever so much for this fantastic conversation.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your help too. You have the words of what you do for all of us. Thank you, Michele.
You're welcome. Okay, so that is another episode of The Artist Bridge to Abundance. Thank you so much. And be creative.
Seed to flower, magic's in your hands. You got the power, so go forth and expand.
I'd like to thank St. Pete Arts Alliance for their individual grant and making this particular podcast and everything that goes along with it possible. I'm so incredibly grateful to you. If you like the podcast that you just saw, go ahead and click that subscribe button and click the little bell next to it, so then that way you're notified every time we load up another episode. Look forward to seeing you soon.